Brews and Banter.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Roman, how are you?
I'm good. Dude, look at the fucking table.
Yeah, this is like a beer buffet, right?
Beer buffet?
All
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
drink.
yeah, beer buffet.
All you can drink.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking something about Boba Fett.
Nice. That's fair.
You guys want to introduce yourselves, and then we'll go from there?
For sure. I'm Dave Collins, owner and brewer at Bullfinch Brew Pub, and nerd that makes beer.
I'm Todd Panic, business professional, lifelong nerd who enjoys beer and has been a fan of Bullfinch for a while.
Yeah. Sure.
Nerd is no longer like, when I was a kid, it used to be insult. Like,
Oh, no, now it's
you're a fucking nerd.
That's a
Geek
badge of honor.
chic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Now
It was
it's like,
It was not when we were growing
Yeah.
up playing
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. No.
yeah,
No.
like I always say like, oh yeah, I'm nerding out with electronics.
Yes.
Like it's like a
Yeah.
verb, right?
Now this is like classy and sophisticated. Like you,
That's
you
right.
pinky out. Right?
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. This is the Chuggy.
Chuggy.
So it's
Oh, is this the one that
2.8% alcohol.
Yeah.
But it's all New Zealand hops, Rawaka, Wakatu. I actually did add some Celeste hop in there, which is a West Coast, but it's a lot of the Wakatu and Rawaka. So
grapefruit in here?
that's the flavor from the hops, man.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy.
So get a ton of grapefruit, very citrusy.
Yeah.
This beer should not taste this good
I
for
was
that
think-
level of
I
alcohol,
was
right?
thinking the same thing. Yeah. Right.
Well, the trick was, I don't know if you guys know much about brewing, but the mash rest is at a very specific temperature. Enzymes break down the starch to sugar, right? So they look like little balls of protein, but they look like Pac-Man. They go through and they break the starches apart until they're fermentable. So after the mash rest, I threw in a bag of oats so that the starch couldn't break down and it wasn't fermentable. So just to leave some body in that beer. And then I did a ton of different hop processes, which anytime I go into it, people are like, I don't know what you're talking about anymore. But anyway, I thought it came out nice.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Sorry.
What are we
We're
missing?
just gonna shut the fan off. It's
Gotcha.
loud.
Fair enough.
You know, I will occasionally drink an NA beer and I want the taste, but they never drink like this, right?
Yeah.
They might mimic the flavor of beer, but I had this last week for the first time and was blown away. I'm like 2.8%. That's not possible.
Only 85 calories a glass if you're worried about anything like
Wow,
that.
that's
Which
so low
And that ship
calorie.
has sailed for me.
I've never worried about it, but I'm
Low calorie,
told
low,
I should. I'm 45, so
low alcohol. That's
This
and
is just,
you're right. NA beer, it's like you're expecting a little bit of alcohol,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
not there, and
Yeah.
it's
And
trying
it-
to trick your brain.
The
And it's
mouth
kinda
feels
disappointing.
thinner, right?
yeah.
This
Oh,
is
so
nice.
much.
This is refreshing,
It's not heavy, but it's got a lot of that hop character in it. But
Yeah.
and you call it chugger,
I call it the Chuggy.
chuggy.
Yeah. A long time ago, there was a terrible 80s horror movie is called The Chud, which is the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Yes.
but it was also chemical hazardous urban disposal. Was that in there also?
It might have been.
I think that's what they were
yeah.
calling
Oh,
it before, and then they
right,
were
right.
trying to mask it.
Yes,
as that. Yeah,
yes.
I remember that.
So this is actually an acronym. It's
Okay,
like
good
the
job.
cannibalistic hopanoid underground glass growler imbibing entity.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
The label is like a giant hop, attacking a city, and it's a very funny. I'll have to show it to you later.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, this is good.
But my brother Tim from Lightning Head Design does all my labels, and he's a maniac too.
Fantastic. Yeah.
He does amazing artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what they say, right? People get it. You see it somewhere. People have heard of you, but people haven't heard of you. They're like, oh, look at this. That's what catches there on the shelf.
So you're canning this stuff, and people can buy it at the store.
eventually I'll
brewery?
be canning it, and I'll have it at the brewery and at the taproom in Camillus.
How's demand for this
Demand for it?
so far?
It's
Yeah,
actually been going for,
Really?
a lot faster than I anticipated,
Wow.
which is good. I just I thought at 2.8% people would be like, I'm not, no thanks.
This is a summertime day drinking beer.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, for the summer light beer, I grade it like this. I'm like, okay, if yard work all day. Now I'm sweaty. Or while I'm working, can I pick up one of these and drink it?
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah.
2.8%. You
Two,
can
three
have
of
a couple of them.
these.
Or nursing a hangover. This is how you get back on the horse, right? Well,
That
breakfast
actually-
beer.
Yeah, that actually did help. I went to my friend's house on Friday night and we played board games till like 4 a.m. Crashed on the couch or whatever, got up at 7 because the boys were awake, and then had to, bring the family home, drop everybody off, and then I had to go to work, and I was like, it wasn't feeling good. As soon as I got to work, it was like noon. I chugged one of these guys, and I'm like, oh, man.
You got to bite the horse to bit you.
Yeah,
right?
man. And this is perfect for that 'cause it's not a lot, but it gets you where you need to be.
Yeah.
So,
Have you heard of headshots? They're like shooters, but it's all foam, like
foamies.
foamies. Is that
Yeah,
what it's called?
yeah.
We had it at Grow, remember?
I don't. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, I thought you were talking about, I'm thinking about something for a hangover.
No, no.
Yeah.
We were at Grow, and
Yeah, you get like this much beer, and then the rest is foam.
Yep.
it's all and it's like a narrow glass like this,
Yeah.
and it's tall, and that was weird. I was like, how do you like suck the foam down?
Right.
Yeah, I've seen that trend. It started in Colorado. People doing foamies. I don't know. I want a whole glass of beer.
Yeah.
Sorry. You
I know.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. I understand what you're doing. It's one of those things is like the brewers are kind of showing off that they know how to get all that like protein packed into the beer. So because the protein helps with the foam retention and all that stuff. So it's one of those things that it's like it's done to kind of show you their skill in that regard and how to pour it in a way that the foam comes out like creamy. But again, I want a beer.
I'll show 'em my skill and I'll drink it.
Yeah,
Right, that's right, that's right.
Bragging rights or
Yeah.
something?
kind of. Yeah, it's just like again, it's not something I care much about. And the other thing is, I guess you're showing off that you can train your staff how to pour a big bed, like a poorly poured beer. I don't know, like not my thing.
But you do get creative with a lot of other stuff,
Oh, for sure.
Like I think we've talked about it. We talk about it anytime we mention Bullfinch or when we went to Pennsylvania, we always talk about
this one.
the key lime pie.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking phenomenal, right?
yeah, man.
It's like, how the fuck do you make the batter part of it taste?
Yeah, can you make a prime rib? Can you make a prime rib beer?
If anyone could,
Yeah.
it would be
Probably.
Dave.
Right,
Right?
I don't
tell-
think you'd like it.
I tell people all the time, I love craft beer. I do not like sours. A good sour, you can have a sour, with the exception of Bullfinch. Dave's sours are incredible. I don't know how he does it. The one that my group started drinking was Prismatic Spray,
Yeah.
which tastes like rainbow sherbet.
Yep.
And you tell somebody like, well, it's beer. No, hell, go ahead. And they're like, oh my God, it's rainbow sherbet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. Now try like 7 other sours that all taste like something they should not be. It's incredible.
That would be a fun game. You get all your sours out, and you don't tell people what they are, so they have to drink it and write down what they think it is.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
How about-
I feel like people would nail it most of the time.
You have any lactose beers?
There's lactose sugar in the hypnotic pattern. In the one he was talking about as well,
The prismatic spray?
Yeah, the rainbow
Yeah.
sherbet. But I don't think there's not in any.
We had a couple before that
no.
were like you almost had to use a straw to drink it. I'm like,
It was thick.
that's a lot.
I've made some thicker beers like that. I don't know. I don't want that. to
I'm
be
with you.
honest.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is kind of weird.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
it was the stuff that was Star Wars themed.
The Sith sauce.
Well, yours was Sith sauce.
Was
so
it blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, mine was
No,
red.
his
Well,
was
right.
red.
So-
yeah.
right.
Mine
His was blue. We called it Yoda's breast milk.
because it was Yoda on there.
Yeah.
It was not even blue. It was like
Turquoise.
Yeah, I know what
like-
you mean.
something like that.
But was it like?
I think I saw that.
It wasn't.
So.
It wasn't other half, was it?
no, it was
Meyer Creek, right?
No,
R&R.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
RAR, right?
RAR, R&R, one of those.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
they had a line.
Yeah.
If I want a, daiquiri, I'll go to Key West, man.
Daiquiri.
I don't want diabetes in my beer.
I think you mean diabetes.
Diabetes.
Same
Yeah. But I do try to, get interesting flavors in the beer, right? Like it isn't thick and soupy, but it has a very interesting flavor. So like the key lime that you're talking about, I used biscuit and honey malts in the mash process. So it gives you kind of that like toasted biscuit, graham cracker flavor.
So that
And then-
probably why it brought the taste of the batter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I used cheesecake powder and cinnamon in the whirlpool, aged it on vanilla bean, and then I added the key lime pie. And I add the matcha powder into it also after the fermentation and all that. So yeah, get like a key lime matcha pie sour. And
It's
it's not
great.
not thick. You don't have to drink it through a
Right,
straw.
right.
No, it's it
Yeah, I don't want to
actually
chew my beer.
it's light.
No.
Yeah, unless it's prime rib beer.
Mm.
Next season.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who knows,
well,
right?
Christmas time.
You want medium rare? Probably.
Yeah, that's it, right. Yeah,
You like
Sure.
just make some carbonated blood, I guess. Right?
Yeah, if you see me just squeezing steaks out into the kettle, it'll be
Do you want to tell us
just a long day.
about every beer here? So that
I can if you like. Yeah, sure.
yeah, just give us a little background history, why you chose what it is, and what's the art
Well,
behind
we got to
it.
turn around and tell. You've got a display, so we can tell
Okay,
us
yeah.
what it is.
So
yeah.
this one,
Yeah,
what's
so
this?
that's I made 2 mage hands this year. The first one is strawberry, and then this one's the mango dragon fruit. So basically it's supposed to taste like a Moscow Mule sour. So I put mint, lime, and ginger in there, and then I add the fruit. So it literally tastes like a Moscow Mule, like a cocktail. So that was kind of the onus behind it. The strawberry Moscow Mule sounded fun and something like, people could 4.5% that, you can just drink on a porch while you're, if you got a pool or something like that. Nice.
Babysitting,
Yeah,
someone
sure.
else's kids.
That's right.
How about barrel age? You do any barrel age stuff?
I have. It's
Yeah.
just very hard in my space.
Yeah.
I need a bigger brewery.
Yep.
Is the big
So
thing.
big things to come. You got any announcements here? What's happening?
No, man, not yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a company about a lease, but currently I don't have the. I have an LOI, but what I'm looking at isn't in the price range I'm thinking of.
So it's an idea that could happen at some point, but
Yeah,
you're not relegated to you're not going to stay where you're at.
yeah,
You're going to grow your business.
Right.
Yeah.
In the mall, you can't get a forklift in there. You can't get pallets in there. You can't, it's really hard to get kegs in and out. So it was designed to be a brew pub, grain to glass on site. You're going out of serving tanks right to the tap, right? So where the beer is made, it's drank. And that's great because you get really fresh beer and it always, the quality is great. But it's impossible to do distro. So people are like, "Are you in stores and stuff?" And I'm like, "No, I can't really do
self-distribute?
that." Yeah.
Yeah.
If I distribute anywhere, I do it myself, and I'm literally driving it around in my car. So what I need is a bigger brewery where I can push out pallets of stuff. The Sunburst we have on tap. I brought you a keg of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that is something I would do like a lot of next summer if I had a big brewery, right? Because it actually won a gold medal at the U.S. Beer Open last summer. So it's like, a gold medal winning summer wheat, right? And the U.S. Beer Open has over 9,000 beers are entered by 3,000 breweries from the U.S. and Canada. So it's like the best summer wheat in the country, and I can't even market it, like, because I can't get pallets of that out. I can't I can't get it on tap at restaurants and stuff like that. I just don't have the ability.
They have room for canning line.
Right. I need a better canning line. I bought a little one head filler, which I run myself, and it's absolute
Zero
nightmare.
surprise. Here.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. It's terrible.
If I may counterpoint, there is an upside to your cramped locale. If you happen to visit Bullfinch and Dave happens to be there, and if you happen to have been nice to him at any point in the past, he is very likely to say, "Hey, do you want to taste this thing I've got brewing over there?"
Right.
And he will bring you back into the brew space and give you a little sample of something that is amazing. And then you put on your calendar, okay, in 4 weeks, I have to come back because I need to be here when this gets tapped.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the coolest part, is that
One of
Dave
my
makes the
favorite
beer
things.
right there.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is when the Oktoberfest is aging in the tank after fermentation, and it's not filtered, it's just chilled for like a week or whatever. Putting the pigtail on the tank and pulling a sample, that is like the best beer experience you can have.
I'm not gonna lie. I go in and I look. I'm like, oh, is Dave around? Is there any magic happening in the back? Oh, hey, Dave. Hey, how's it going, man? Oh, no. What do you got? Oh, sure. I'd love to.
Yeah.
And usually I'm with friends, and I'm a bad friend in the sense that when Dave offers you want to taste something, I'm like, bye, guys. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Not enough for you.
No, sorry. Yeah.
So, I mean, I brought one can of each of these so we can just all have little samples. But this is the tabletop, so it's just a light lager. I actually tell people this story from I went to brewmaster school in Canada for 2 years, and I tell people, one of my teachers was a guy that worked for Labatt's for 30 years, and he was like, if you think about it, a light lager is like looking at a cornfield. And an IPA is like looking at a rainforest. So if you take an apple tree and you drop it in that cornfield, you're going to see it for miles and miles. If you drop it in the rainforest, it's gone. So you judge a brewery and a brewer, their skill based off their lightest beer. So every time I go to a new brewery that I've never been to, I will try their lightest beer first. If that's good, give me everything you got.
You're gonna run
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But otherwise, if that's not good, see ya. Go to the next one.
Your summer wheat is like a probably a low 5 ABV, like a
4.8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
And it's got local honey. The summer wheat, the Sunburst, has honey from Skinny Atlas.
Okay.
And then a little ginger in the whirlpool, and then I add tangerine to that.
So you source local ingredients or whatever you
as
can?
As best I can, man.
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
get grain from Batavia a lot from
Nice.
a guy named Ted Hawley. He runs a company called Craft Malting, and super knowledgeable guy. Again, I've been in this industry for a long time now, about 16 years. And when I first opened Resurgence, Ted came in and he would bring his grain and he would be like, hey, what do you think about this and that? And I would taste it and I'm like, Ted, this is like, you could call this Munich 1, but you can't call it a Pilsner malt. If you want, like, make it lighter and we'll call it a Pilsner malt. But this, you could market this as a Munich Type 1 or, even whatever. Like, it's just, this isn't Pilsner. And he's like, noted. And then he would go change it. And so I kind of helped. I feel like I helped guide him a little bit along to get his like malt process down. And super, super nice guy. And he's gotten so good at it. And actually this
tastes like a Pilsner, right?
Yeah, it's just a light lager, right?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Pilsners have a little bit more bitterness to them. This is really light and soft.
Maybe I got the other stuff still in my mouth.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But this is about 80% Ted's malt.
Okay.
So there you go.
So the Resurgence, is that the place in Buffalo?
Yeah, so if we
went
could just...
to Resurgence.
We did.
And they have a badass canning line, by the way.
I know.
Sorry. I didn't mean to rub it in your face.
That's fine.
But we were there.
Not one. Yeah, there's probably like 4 people running that thing.
Well, we went to interview Big Ditch, and then we wanted to see what's else locally, so we stopped at the Resurgence.
Yeah,
that's
and
a big
just
brewery.
We got some food there and beer, and you sit there, and the entire length of the bar with windows is their entire canning line.
Yep.
It's a big setup.
Yeah, I was the first employee and master brewer there for 5 years.
Oh, nice.
So when I went in, we were in Niagara Street in a warehouse with a sawtooth roof. And first couple weeks I was there, we were just painting and stuff like that. And Jeff was like, "Bet you thought I hired you to be a brewer, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, that'd be nice." But we had to install the whole brewery, and we had a lot to get done, and then we finally got going. And, we kicked off, we were the 4th brewery in town. Now there's like 60.
Yeah.
So we were building that $8 million expansion, across town. And then, I decided I got to do this for myself. No offense to anybody, but I'm busting my ass for someone else. I should bust my ass for myself.
So, yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, but for the people that maybe didn't hear our episode with you, if you want to just take a step back and talk about Gordon Biersch and how this all happened and how the space that story. Let's talk about it.
It's a longer story. I don't know how much you want to hear.
We'll cut it down because we got beers to drink.
That's right.
I can tell Todd's he's like,
that's fair.
Well, I know how good all of this is going to be, so I'm just
just want to
Just sticking around.
I'm pacing myself.
The only-
That's fair. Yeah.
The only reason Todd's here is because he knew this was coming.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Dave's like, hey, you want to tag along? I'm like, you bring beer? Yes.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
I will be there. Yes.
So long story. It's probably going to be a little bit long, but I moved to Florida right out of college at Fredonia, and then I got a job bartending at the Ritz, which I like weaseled my way into that job. There was no reason I should ever get that job, right? I literally knew nothing. I had no experience bartending, and I went in there. And I'm sitting there. It was like an open, hire date or whatever. People. It was like a hiring fair or whatever because the Ritz was just opening. And I'm sitting there and I see like the gold steps of service, the credo, and all these like plaques up. And I'm waiting for hours. So I'm like, that seems important. So I just memorized it. And then when I met with the person
It's like Survivor, right? You see these clues.
That's right.
yeah. So I'm like, I go in and I talk to the manager that's, the hiring manager. And, I was like, and to preface this, I had never heard of the Ritz before in my life. I'm a poor person, right? Like I grew up in Marcellus. I don't know anything about this shit.
You didn't summer on the vineyard.
Yeah,
Right. Got it. Right.
right.
Yeah, no, right. I wasn't in Naples,
Right.
and, anyways, so I knew nothing about it. But when I got in my interview, I was like, I just love what the Ritz stands for with its gold steps of service.
Fucking
And,
bullshit.
you know, oh my god, it was like this is I
This
rolled
man has potential.
so I rolled an at 20 on my persuasion on this, right? So I'm blowing all this smoke up this lady's ass, and then she's like, "Yeah, I like you, but you just don't have the experience, right?" And I was like, "All right," and I stood up, and I'm like, "Here's the plan. I'm going to go somewhere else, and I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to work there for 6 months, and I'm coming right back here, and I'm going to talk to you again." And she was like, "Sit down." And then the GM of the whole Ritz came over, and I chatted with him, and he was like, "Yeah, hire this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Whatever." So I had no reason to be there at all. So all that is to say that like the Ritz ended up being a great experience in the way that they paid for me to take a wine sommelier class. So I'm a level 1 wine sommelier. And then I started to study all the different types of scotch, tequila, gin, whatever, what things are made from, how they're made, what they're aged in, and all that stuff. And where it all came from. And then I bought a book called Brew Chem 101. It was $1.75 online. And I read this book and it all stuck in my weird pickled little brain. And I'm like, why do I like this? So I went down to Orlando Brewing Company and I was like, hey guys, I want to intern. And I basically, I was working 80 hours a week at the Ritz, and then I was interning at Orlando Brewing Company. The brewer wouldn't talk to you at all. He was just like this old ornery guy that was like, I was like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. And so they let me intern there, but I had to I'm working for a beer an hour. So sometimes I'm just working on a labeler or just a bottling line or whatever. And sometimes I'm walking out with a 6-pack, and that's it. That's what they paid me. But I loved it, right? And I shouldn't it's abuse of some kind, right? But
It's internship.
yeah,
It's perfect for someone who's underage, right?
yeah. I was mid-20s, and then I found out that there was a brewmaster school opening up in Canada, and I applied and somehow got accepted. But I was in the very first class, in the inaugural class of the brewmaster program. So they brought in 24 students because it's a 2-4. In Canada they call it a 2-4. That's a case of beer, right? So they intentionally brought in 24 students because the brewers, they're maniacs, right? And they're all great, super nice people. John Downing is still an awesome guy. I'm still friends with him. He was my he's the dean of the whole brewery department. But out of brew school, I actually, again, without a ton of real experience working in the industry, the Gordon Biersch was opening here in the mall, and again, I had to sell myself and like make it happen. The guy was like, well, you don't really have real experience, running a brewery. I'm like, yeah, dude, but like at school we make beer. Like this isn't, for show. I'm not just in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We're making beer. I know what's going on.
So you wanted to come back because you were in Florida at the time, and then you wanted to come back up here?
Well, brew school is in Canada. So yeah, I left.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. right.
I left my job at the Ritz, sold my house for half what it was worth because I got stuck in the 2008 bubble.
Yikes.
With my ex-wife. Yeah, she was.
Wait, is she the bubble? Is she the bubble? Or
Both. So, and just got out of there and went up to Buffalo and found an apartment that was 500 square feet. It was like the size of this studio right here. And I worked, I've got a job bartending and brewing at Buffalo Brew Pub, but Buffalo Brew Pub is like an extract brewery, so it's not quite the same. But I would be in the brewery 3 days a week, bartending 4 nights a week, and in brew school 5 days a week for 2 years.
Mhm.
So I had like negative 5 days off a week.
Right. That's right.
I actually told my wife now that I was like, during that time I would take what I called nano or pico naps. So at a stoplight on my way home at like 3:00 in the morning from work, I'd be like, okay, and then and then it would turn green. I'm like, all right, go. So I kind of trained myself to like time this little like 3-second nap, and I don't know, it was probably very, very bad, but I made it.
Yeah.
I didn't die, so
That's good. Ritz never regretted hiring you, though, right?
no, man. I worked there for 5 years. I still have my 5-year pin that has a little emerald in it, and when I got up to the lobby, I started at the pool bar, and I moved up to the lobby lounge and became like the head bartender at the lobby lounge.
Nice.
Because I studied the stuff that was behind me,
Yeah.
So when I first moved up to lobby, some guy was like, what's your like smokiest scotch? And I'm like, fuck if I know. I'm looking around like, I don't know. And
Eeny, miny,
yeah, and he's like, I
you
see
need money smoke.
Yeah.
He's like, I see Lefroy, just pour me that. I'm like, okay, man, cool.
Yeah.
And then I instantly went home and I was like, I got to learn this shit. And I bought a book by a guy named Anthony Dias Blue, and it's called just Spirits, right? And he's gone around the world tasting liquor from all over the place, and he gives you flavor notes, what it's made from, and all that stuff. And that was where it started, and I was like, oh shit. And as soon as I bought that one book, I made like an extra $30,000 a year at the lobby lounge, right?
Wow.
Just knowing what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the stuff behind me.
And he wasn't even topless.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
But
Not at this point.
Not yet.
at the core though, that is nerdery, right? Like that is nerdery,
right.
that ability to be passionate and go deep into something, regardless of what other people care about it, right? Like it resonates with you, you find it and it clicks and you go deep. I mean, at its core, that's what nerdery is. Superheroes,
Yeah.
science fiction, fantasy, Star Wars, beer, right?
Yeah,
Like that's nerdery.
And in business, understanding, well, this is the demand. I need this knowledge.
Sure.
You want to get into that?
Yeah. Is that the order you want? I mean,
I don't care.
Yeah. So like knowing what the customers are asking for,
Sure.
what the demand is, and be like, okay, I don't know this shit, but tomorrow I'm going to know this.
Yeah.
And to invest the time and then take your micro naps and study your ass off and then show up and then make that extra $30,000 because you've invested that time to study and get better at it. And I think that dedication pays off.
I've had an eclectic career. I'm a military veteran. I'm a business professional today. Been in the corporate world for many years. But I took a little detour a few years ago.
Sorry.
No worries.
Share some of yours.
No. No worries. Listen, there's plenty more beers
we'll
to
give
come.
you more than
Yeah,
that.
no worries.
We're all going to get a heavy porter.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I spent a little time in the local beer scene, running the operations for another local craft brewery. And
Which one?
well, Freight Yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my little detour out of the corporate world.
Lou is great.
Lou
is a wonderful lady and a great brewer.
Yeah.
And she's got her own great beer stories, right? But, my thing running the tap room there was always beer is not what we're selling. What we're selling is hospitality, and we serve it 16 ounces at a time.
Yeah.
And, when you talk to somebody like Dave or Lou, or you sit down in a place that's welcoming and you feel the hospitality expressed through the beer, it is a natural opportunity for connections,
Mhm.
right? And that's what the
Mhm.
very best places do is they sell hospitality, not a beverage. Because I can get a great beer a million places,
Right.
Yeah.
but if you make me feel special, if you make me feel like I belong there,
Mhm.
I'm going back.
Mhm.
And that's what Bullfinch, both of their locations do.
Yeah.
It's what Freight Yard does. It's what, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's what if you think about the best places you visit, right? Don't you feel at home,
Right,
even
right,
if it's
right.
your first time there?
Yeah.
Yeah, being welcome, acknowledged, like not ignored and,
Yeah.
not care about service. That makes a big difference.
Mhm.
There's a lot of companies that use something similar to that where instead of they sell you the service, they sell you the journey. They're there's some watch companies
See the
that
fan?
would sell you the journey that it takes to get that watch,
Mhm.
not so much the watch itself.
Right.
After the
Yeah.
journey you go through to get that watch, then you're like, oh man, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love this one. And there's this different passion, different appreciation for it, because the journey to it was priceless almost.
Right,
It's like
sure.
it was rewarding. And it's like that. It maybe your journey is getting that final beer done. You're like, that journey was fucking fun,
It is fun.
and
But
you're
also
right.
learning about it, right?
The
Yeah,
service,
right.
the journey to it, the total experience is what a lot of big companies
Yeah.
is what they're selling.
That was. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Well, that was what I learned. It was day one at the Ritz. Was the GM came in and he said he just literally drew a brain, and then he drew a plus sign and a
Mhm.
heart, and he goes, if you engage your mind and your heart, you will make more money.
Mhm.
He for like out of the gate, he was like, "You guys aren't here because you like this place. You're here to make money, right?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." Like, are we supposed to say that?
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I've been," he started as a dish pit guy, and then he was the GM of this Orlando Ritz. And that's what he said. He was like, you engage these two things and you will make more money. The more you know and the more you care about the guest experience, the more money you make. The more people want to tip you, the more, it resonates.
And it is a different clientele that
Yeah.
you're getting,
Oh, for sure.
for some other places, but
But
what
I
a
think
great place to learn,
I
right?
think it's transcendent across industry, right? Like I think if when I worked at my family's small feed store back, when I was a kid, we're just hauling grain bags around, right? Like it was 50-pound bags of whole corn
That was good
or
training.
yeah,
Right?
I know, really. I still do it.
Yeah.
Or horse feed or whatever, but it was about like taking care of people. I'd have to load up the truck with Tim and we'd go across town and uh, dump the grain into, the farmers' bins for their horses, and you got to layer it and stuff like that. But it was just about like if an old lady could drive up to the
Mhm.
dock and she wants a 50-pound bag of birdseed, I know she's not picking that
That's
shit
right.
up,
Yeah.
and then she'd have like a bunch of different tubs in her trunk, and she's like, "Well, would you mind?" And I'm like, "I got it." Really,
But,
like,
but it's the
and I
right
don't
thing.
mind.
It's the right thing to do, right?
Right,
And you feel
exactly.
good about doing it, and
Yeah,
it's
of
just
course.
it's fucking right, right?
Exactly, and
It's
it is about that.
That's Maya Angelou, right? Like,
Right.
people will forget the things you say, but they'll
No,
remember the things
things
you
you
do,
do, yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
And great companies
Well, I hope she
understand
remembers
whatever
that
that
I
is.
drink beer.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Is there Marriott next to that Orlando Ritz?
Yeah, JW
I
Marriott.
stayed at Marriott. Not the Ritz.
There you go. There you go.
So I know which one you're talking
Yep.
about.
You,
It's
you
like-
almost could have had
Yeah.
Dave's stuff in another
and
place.
that was actually 19 years ago.
You guys are about the same age, so yeah.
Were you there?
I worked there 2005 to 2010.
Okay.
So
So
around that time. Yeah. Could have seen you there. Yeah.
There's like main kind of entrance, and then Ritz this way, Marriott's
You know
this way.
John. You know who
Yeah.
John Turturro is?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
That's what he looked like when he was younger.
Yeah.
He had curly hair and
Yeah.
Yeah, you see curly hair.
not there.
Not the do-rag and the Big Lebowski.
No.
The Jesus rolls. Yes.
Todd, your choice.
Well, a new favorite, new this winter, this past
Okay.
winter, right?
Yeah.
So a date in Jotunheim.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
What's Jotunheim? Where's that?
Jotunheim is the realm of the frost giants in Norse mythology.
should know
And this beer is a Norwegian style Juliol. So Juliol means like Yuletime beer.
No,
right?
Yule.
No, Yule. So I hadn't seen anybody in the States making a Yule, so I thought I would. I used the Norwegian Quebec yeast called Voss to ferment it. I used some lingonberry, which is a Scandinavian cranberry. And then I added all the spices that go into like a gingerbread man. So we actually won a world award with this. I got a silver at the World Beer Cup with this
ridiculous.
beer.
Right.
So
Was that the one in Nevada or
they?
Colorado?
I think they hosted in Colorado. You know, as you would expect, Weinstefaner got the gold, silver, and bronze in the Hefeweiss categories, right? And stuff like that. So these are big breweries you're up against.
They go back hundreds of years. Right?
Weinstefaner's almost 1,000 years old.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
almost
crazy.
1,000 years old. So I do expect nothing less of them, but to win like the entire.
In fact,
category.
It's shame on you if you don't when you be doing that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
If I'm 1,000 years old making that prime rib I'm telling you about, I'm going to master it.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
There are stone tablets inscribed with
something. Right.
Frank's prime rib is really good.
Yeah. They opened in the year I think 1070.
That's fantastic.
So it's coming up on 1,000 years in our lifetime, right?
That's crazy.
Before the Reinheitsgebot even existed, they were open, and
the German beer purity laws.
Yes, the Reinheitsgebot.
Yes.
Yeah, good work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the purity law of I think it was 1506 or something like that. It just said you can only use malt, water, hops, and yeast. Yeah, well, they didn't know what yeast was at the time, so malt, water, hops.
Someone knew what yeast was, just wasn't in food, right?
Right.
Well, yeah. See, this is the old days when they would measure mash temperature by putting their hand in it. And if they could hold their hand in there for more than 3 seconds, it was too cold. Okay. But if only 3 seconds of perfect temperature,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, when people came up with like thermometers,
who gets to sacrifice their hand?
Right,
the brewers.
Right.
Yeah, same thing with surgery back then. How deep is that cup? You stick your raw hand in it. Yeah,
2 knuckles deep.
Don't dig too deeply into the origins of diagnosing diabetes because you won't want to hear that one either.
No,
we'll talk about that one.
No.
But again, in this industry, it's all about history and I mean, there's lore, whatever the case may be. But people appreciate that. Well,
mankind has been making beer as long as there's been mankind, right?
About 20,000
Sumerian. We found Sumerian beers. Right?
Yeah, and the reason people settled at the Tigris and Euphrates rivers was to cultivate wheat, right, and to use it to make beer because beer was safer to drink than water, and always has been.
That's right.
Yeah. And so people stopped being nomadic, and civilization exists because of beer. Without fermentation, you don't have civilization.
That was tough because when my doctor said you should drink a gallon of water per day, I'm like, that's a lot of beer, doc. You sure?
Right.
So was that last one we just had a sour?
Yes, the last one was. This is not.
I gotta tell you follow a sour up with this. This fucking punches. This is good.
But so imagine the snow is falling.
Yeah.
The
So it's got
fireplace
clove
is
or
on.
something in, or no?
A little
ginger,
bit, yep.
yeah. But yeah, this is a
clove. Yep.
this is a fucking blizzard campfire sort of.
I have bought this in cans at the Township 5 tap room and taken it back to the house because I'm like, I'm going to have a couple of those at home. Yeah.
This is Viking juice.
This is good. Yeah.
That's
correct.
Right down your alley.
This is right down my alley. Yeah.
That's the interesting thing is to make a beer of that style and to try to like hold true to it. And then the name is super fun, but
I'll hold true to it. Yeah, like, I'm gonna slam these. I'll be like, give me our give me the J
Give me
stuff.
the blue guy.
Give me the J stuff.
And you don't even remember that in the one of the Avengers movies they go to Jotunheim.
Oh, that's Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so you talked about the names, right? Totally selfish. So our podcast is.
How did you not drink this beer when you talked about that movie?
Because this wasn't out yet. We did Thor many seasons ago.
Damn you!
But we pair a beer with a movie.
Yeah,
and so we've drank Dave's beer twice.
You want to plug your?
Is that okay?
Yeah, plug.
Okay, so
whatever.
All right, so I am one half. I'm the better looking half. Casey's not going to hear this. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Me and my best friend Casey Ryan co-host the Superpod Hero Cast. Our tagline is "Guys with beers talking about movies with capes." Every episode is a superhero movie. And
you have to have a cape?
You don't have to have a cape.
Okay.
We define superhero movies at the same way the Supreme Court defines obscenity. I know it when I see it.
Okay.
So the rule is it's got to be a superhero movie. It had to have a U.S. theatrical release.
Okay.
And every episode we break down one movie. It's part comedy, part film analysis, part general geekery. But we pair a beer to it because the podcast started, ironically, in Gordon Biersch at the mall.
Really?
When Casey and I and whoever we brought with us would be, before we went to go see the superhero movie, we'd be sitting at Gordon Biersch, having one of Dave's beers, talking about what we wanted to see or what afterwards, what we just saw. And we wanted to recreate that feeling of sitting around a table, again, the social aspect of beer, and talking about something we love. So it's a pet peeve when I go looking to find a beer to pair with some element of the movie. There are some great beers that have very boring names. I appreciate that every one of Dave's beers has a great name. So we've drank Dave's beer twice on the podcast and about 1,000 times outside the podcast. Just a few weeks ago, we released episode 178, which was Marvel's The Eternals.
Okay.
Which was a great
which is a great movie. It's a deep cut, but one of the key
It's not a good
scenes.
movie. It's-
Well,
yeah.
For someone,
listen to the
it was
episode.
great for
That's right.
someone.
The enthusiasm in the voice.
I'm mowing my lawn. I was
Yeah.
mowing my lawn and listening to his episode about the Eternals. And I was just like, oh man, I have so many comments. I wish I could. I want to yell at.
We're gonna have Dave on this season.
I have so many
But
comments.
one of the key scenes in that movie is when basically all of these immortal beings gather back together after having been separated for hundreds of years, and they basically gather around a dinner, around a feast.
Yeah.
So we drank for that episode. We drank Dave's, which we have right here, the Key Lime Matcha Heroes Feast, because that's the key scene. So
Hey, good transition. We could drink that now.
we did a Conan the Destroyer episode and drank Prismatic Spray because that's
Yeah.
basically a Dungeons and Dragons
Mhm.
adventure. So I love the fact that Dave's beers are so great and the artwork and names are so creative. I started as a fan. Like we're friends now, but I'm just a fan.
Let's go back to your story, Dave, when you're now back here and you're starting with Golden Beard.
So kind of came up at the Ritz learning about alcohol. Then I got hired or got accepted into the brew school. So I did that for 2 years, and then right out of school, they hired me to open this Gordon Biersch. So when I showed up, there was nothing there. The bar didn't exist. It was just taped off on the ground. And I met my big boss. His name is Tom Dargan, who is a very fun person to know. He's a maniac, but he's a very cool guy. But he's a fucking maniac. And he's been in the industry for like 35 years, right? So he started with like Sierra Nevada, and he's opened 40 Gordon Biersches with Craftworks. So he's a font of knowledge that I'll never, scratch the surface.
He's forgotten more than you know.
Yeah, 100%. And so somehow he took a shot on me and let me get the job, and I started there. So I was the first employee and master brewer there for 2 years before I went to Resurgence. But I remember one day he was like, "We got to get all these tanks, got to get all the glycol lines hooked up." And I was like, "Okay, done." And he leaves. It's like 7:00 at night, and I stayed till like 4 a.m. and did it, and then came back the next day. He wanted me to be there at 6:00 the next day. So I show up at 6:00 the next day, and he looks around, he's like, "Holy shit, they're all done?" I'm like, "Yeah, you said to get them done."
Yeah.
He's like, "I meant this week." Like not last night. I was like, it did seem like a pretty big job. It did seem like a pretty big job for the night, but I got it done. He's like, "Then just go home, asshole."
Go get some sleep.
Yeah, that's how he talks.
That's a great boss.
Yeah,
That's a great boss.
Oh yeah, that's how he talks to you too. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here, dummy." So I was like, "Sweet," and I went home and took a big ass nap. But it was just a very fun experience, and working in a corporate field like that and making sure that and it was down to the fucking numbers, like every single thing you have to have cataloged. Then it got tricky because they wouldn't allow me to make IPAs.
That was literally a question I wanted to ask. Weren't you very constrained? Like, here's their menu, and there might be a couple things that were optional, but it was only from this small list.
Right.
Which is like, you got to,
Right.
you know, Dave's a peacock. You got to let him fly, right? Like, I mean, think about what you just drank.
Right, yeah.
None of those were on tap at Gordon Biersch, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream in its mouth.
That's okay.
But that was the thing. So what I had to do is like tricky stuff. Like I wanted to make, you literally have to input every single pound of grain into this program called See To It, right? So if you ordered 880 pounds of Pilsner malt, put that in, and then it tells you what it costs and all that. So I wanted to make like a Belgian double, and traditionally they got Belgian candy syrup in there. I'm not allowed to order that.
Oh,
So I did. And then I would take the cost of that Belgian candy syrup, which is like $150, and separate it between all the other stuff. And
Like
See To It.
divide, like she's averaged
Divided
out.
it into like 20 different things.
Yeah.
And so that cost of grain went up by like 2 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
They never noticed.
Yeah,
And but
So you did like the Office Space. You rounded. You kept the fractional pennies, and
But you sell more
Right.
beer than who
Yeah.
gives a shit, right?
yeah, I mean, I wanted to make it right.
Yeah.
Like that was my thing. And I was like, if they come at me, I'm going to be like, this is the beer that I made is to style. And it's the way that they do it in Belgium. I know you only like German beers, but I'm doing it to style. And that was my defense, which I never had to make. But I was like,
but you were prepared.
I had it when I'm brewing it. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna fucking say. I can't wait. They're gonna come at me, these motherfuckers. You know.
Are you disappointed that you never delivered the
Kinda,
argument?
yeah.
He's delivering it now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You want to do it now?
That's
yeah.
right.
Because Tom Dargan would probably, he'd be like, God damn it, man, fine. Like he would have understood, but he would have like definitely given me some shit about it.
So is that why no IPAs? Because they just want to stick to
So that was the other
German,
thing,
yeah.
right? So I couldn't dry hop a beer, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, right? So you have to account for all your hops and everything every single Monday. So what I would do is I would make the beer, and then the hops that I was going to add later in a dry hop, I would just say went into the whirlpool. So then I had to remember next week, don't put that in See To It. Like that, those hops are gone. And then 2 weeks later, I'm adding them,
Right.
but they were already gone. I'm like, nah, I put in 45 pounds in the whirlpool, man.
Dropped a bag.
Somewhere there was a forensic accountant who hates Dave. He's like, I swear I was on his trail, and they closed us down, but I would have had him.
Is there no Gordon Biersch at all left open?
Not really. So the ones that are left are in like airports, and they're just bars.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like licensed.
Exactly. They're not real breweries, and they're not real Gordon Biersches.
Yeah.
Guys, is the fan too strong?
No, man, you're
No,
good.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, all the Gordon Biersches shut down in 2020. They were owned by a company called Craftworks. Craftworks owns Rock Bottom Breweries, Big River Breweries, and a myriad of other like brew pub chains. And they just saw that the Gordon Biersch brand was kind of going down when everything else was stable. They pulled the ripcord, and they probably don't have to pay taxes for like 20 years.
And so just to wrap, so
you can carry a business loss forward 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So just to wrap it up, so when we talk about your brew pub, your brewery, right?
Mhm.
It's in this Gordon Biersch building that you helped set up.
Yep.
That now you're running out of.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally installed those fermenters, the glycol lines and everything.
You get to see them every day, like
Yeah.
4 a.m, right?
And
there.
getting to be the mad scientist that you could not be at Gordon Biersch, right?
Correct. Yeah. The first time I made something weird at my brewery, I was like, ooh, they would hate this so much.
And yet they're so amazing. I truly, I say this all the time. Like Dave's beers are so good, and it should. I'm just tagging along tonight. I'm not connected to Bullfinch.
Yeah,
I'm not an employee.
I appreciate it, man.
Truly
Not yet.
fan.
Apparently, you're gonna be some sort of marketing here.
No, but
you gotta hide you in the hops.
We didn't
that's
even know
it.
you were coming today.
that's the thing. Like you don't have to be a beer expert like Dave is. You just look at the people that are passionate about things, then just go to them, right?
Yeah.
If I want great pizza, I don't have to be a pizza maestro. I go to somebody who's passionate about pizza and I can trust in the results.
Yeah.
So you go to someplace like Bullfinch where Dave is passionate about the beer.
Yep.
And good things happen.
Yep.
Yeah, Todd was at the tap room and I was dropping off keg at the tap room, and I sat and had a beer with him real quick. That's why we both had to pee before we started this thing. But I had a beer with him real quick. I'm like, hey, you want to go on the podcast with me? And he's like, yeah, great, yeah, sure. So
See, you get samples of beer and show up on podcasts.
that's right.
I may be an old man, but I'm not a dumb man.
Yeah,
so
right.
you know,
you take the offer.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But it's fun because he runs a podcast that is tied to beer. You guys run a podcast that's tied to beer, and I make beer. So I'm like, this all works together.
Yeah.
And you've got to support. We love support my podcast. We love supporting New York State beers.
Yeah.
We love supporting Central New York beers, and Bullfinch is among the best of them.
Sure.
So I mean,
I'll
there's
come
no
on your
downside.
podcast and we'll just drink Utica Club.
Yeah. Let's see. What shitty movie do I have still in the roster?
The
to go
Eternals.
through? Oh no! Oh, listen to the episode. You'll find some redemption in there.
Yeah.
It was a big swing. It's a big swing for Marvel Studios.
That was,
And didn't connect.
Apparently a big swing and miss, right?
Yeah, well, yes, fair.
It wasn't very good. No, it wasn't very good.
So the name Bullfinch.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Oh, that's a good question. So Thomas Bullfinch was the guy that translated Greek and Roman mythology to English back in the 1800s. And he went to Oxford. He knew Latin and all this stuff, and found those old books of myth and all this stuff. And they were just sitting around and not like people didn't know much about it, right? And he would like get excited and talk to people about it, and everybody's like, nobody knows what you're talking about, dude. That was so long ago. It's thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So he wrote the stories, but he took the stories and wrote them like a Marvel movie, right? And made it fantastical and stuff like that.
Probably why drinking that 1,000-year-old beer company.
That's right.
More than likely.
You have an old Sumerian beer.
Yeah.
You're all set. That's right.
Yeah. And so it was the stories of myth and legend, but it's made or written by a guy that was like just got super excited and did it for fun, right? Like he didn't like do this to make any money. The books didn't even get notoriety until after he died. He was just a banker in his day. And so it's one of those things like I see it as stories of myth, legend, and passion, right? Like the passion projects and what else is a craft brewery but that.
Yeah.
Especially when, again, I find that beer itself, especially looking at the history of it, again, like I said, it's woven through the fabric of humankind for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians were doing 200,000 barrels of beer a year. 200,000 barrels of beer a year.
That's a macro brewery.
That's more,
Back then, right?
Yeah.
That's more than Genesee, right? Like they were making a shitload of beer. They would allot all the people that made the pyramids and stuff like a gallon and a half a day.
Very generous of them.
Yeah. All upside. It's
Nice,
all
well,
upside.
perfect,
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely history there that says that those people were more or less acolytes, and maybe they weren't slaves. Whatever.
That's right.
We'll get into
But
it.
that's why those corners are so perfect.
That's
It's because
right.
of
Yeah,
beer.
because they've all been
Yeah.
pissed on.
That's
Like,
right.
everybody,
But so that's what I'm saying is that the history of it, and just what people used to, what we've, the way that we've turned wolves into dachshunds and stuff like that, through genetic manipulation, and just, genetic breeding, right? That's what we've done with yeast. So yeast is, if you look at, like a German lager, that's Saccharomyces uvarum, but that yeast has been manipulated over so long of a time that it now produces just a nice, clean beer. It doesn't
Yeah.
produce any esters or anything. And then you go to Belgium and you check out their yeast, like a Saison yeast, and all it does is produce esters, right? Like it produces all sorts of maniacal things, like it just things that you're like, this beer tastes like horse blanket, and whatever. Like, why did they choose this? But to me, that it's the you think about the Germans and they're very regimented and this is how they do it.
Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah, right. Reinheitsgebot. And then you look at like the Belgian people and they're like, we add spice to stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we put coriander in that
Yep.
and whatever. And the Germans, not, a city state away, would be like, oh, no, fuck you. We don't add shit.
Right.
So the yeast itself almost shows you who those people are. It's a microcosm of like the actual culture of that region, right? And it's just what they've preferred to drink. And then you come to America and we make literally everything. And I can show you right here on this table, a Norwegian style beer, a light lager, an IPA, so England, Germany, Norway, sours that would resemble stuff from Belgium and whatever. And, so I think it's just interesting.
Yeah,
to me.
but
I don't know.
that is such a perfect translation, right? Like what you just described with beer is the story of humanity.
Yeah.
Right. And in the same way that myths, back to Bullfinch, right? Like myth is man's attempt to place ourselves in the universe in some kind of a structure and an order, right? And the moon goes across the sky because the wolves are chasing it, right? Like it's man's attempt to make sense of this existence we're in. And our superheroes are our modern myths, right? Like
That's true.
they resonate with us and they stay with us because they connect to these like like Jungian archetypes, right? That
And
something deep in our genes, right?
in 1,000 years, people will be like, can you believe they believed a Spider-Man existed,
Right.
Right.
And I think they worshipped him because he had a big box office opening weekend, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they were eating popcorn out of his ass.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Them too.
and thanks for bringing my point home. That was very good.
The word
I was getting really like drawn out, and then you're like, this is
I got you, man. I got you.
Pulled me right back in.
yeah.
the word passion, you use passion because
Yeah.
Bullfinch had this passion of having fun with these books, translating it,
Yeah.
right? And passion that we see in all these brewers that we meet.
Yeah.
Just hearing you talk right now, the passion
Get it, man. Crack it. Yeah.
the passion really translates out of your conversation. This all shows the passion right here. And that word is pretty powerful. Like a lot of things are accomplished and created and discovered through passion.
Yeah, for sure.
And Dave's one of the things I love about Dave is just turning into just a Dave fest here.
Hey, thanks.
Dave is so passionate about that, right? Like that passion, like you just said, and authentic, right? Like it's not contrived or artificial.
Yes, it's not car salesman.
No,
Right.
and people respond. So in my day job, I work a lot in leadership development, and that's important to me. I'm a military veteran. Leadership is important.
Oops.
That is the easiest way. It's a double-edged sword. The fastest way to gain legitimacy as a leader, or the
Okay, we'll
fastest
wipe
way
it
to
down
lose it, is
Yeah,
all
right.
about authenticity.
That's right, yeah.
Right? When you're real,
When you're fake,
people feel that, they respond to it. When you're fake, they
That's
feel
right.
that and respond to
fake
that.
is such
Yeah.
a turn off, like boobs.
Yeah.
Fake boobs.
So thanks, guys. I'm out.
I don't know. Don't hate.
I mean, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Visually
moving on.
or
Yeah. So what are we, Dave? What are we drinking now? Right.
See, you bring it home too. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Not my first rodeo, my friend. Yeah.
This is the Simulacrum. It's a double IPA with all Citra Mosaic. So no bittering addition at all. All Whirlpool and dry hop. This also has won a medal at the U.S. Beer Open, a silver. And it's one of those things that's just like, New England's came out of obviously New England, but generally, like everybody thinks the Alchemist basically made the first one. So everything after that to me seemed like a copy, right? A repeat. They made this incredible beer that like people hadn't thought of before. And so when I was making mine, I'm like, I'll call it a simulacrum. Because the simulacrum is a magical clone, right? They're like, maybe it'll magically be great, but either way, everything's a clone of that original New England. The Heady Topper and his and Focal Banger and stuff like that. So all we can really do is hope to be as good, and that's my hope here.
Yeah,
I think this
they've
one,
all been good.
for me, settled me down a little bit. Like, all these other beers we had were like, "Ooh,
This
ooh,"
this has to be the closer, I think.
and then
Right?
this
That's the
one
closer.
this one was like, "Come down, chill,
Yeah.
enjoy this."
Yep.
But this has got to be high ABV, right?
And it's 8%.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say
doesn't
7, 8
drink
maybe.
like it.
No?
I use a little bit of Belgian candy syrup in this one to kind
Did
of
you have to
back sweeten.
sneak that into
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
toss?
Just
Yeah,
to-
that's
just
right.
to-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
beer,
I don't
right?
tell anybody
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
I feel like there's two groups of people listening to this right now. One group is listening to these beer names and they're like, what the fuck are all of these names?
Right.
And the other group are all the Dungeons and Dragons nerds and are like, yes, Simulacrum. Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, right?
Which I finally got to use in a D&D game.
Did you really?
recently. Yeah. It was finally I got to have them beat a boss that exploded into ruby dust and snow.
And so that's where a lot of these names come from, is these magical creature stories.
Oh yeah, it's mostly D&D related.
Yeah.
Like medium-sized giant space hamster is space hamsters from a D&D module where you're in space basically, and there's space hamsters that you can get as like mounts, like horses of space basically.
Because why wouldn't you?
Right. Why wouldn't you? And I think the official story about is about hamsters in general, like even on our
This is a family podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So Richard Gere from Syracuse.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Is
Oh,
he from
shock.
Syracuse?
No,
Oh, yeah.
he is. Yeah.
And Tom Cruise and
And Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's right.
I knew he was born here, but I'm sure he didn't spend a lot of time here.
now with Richard Gere.
Yeah, but the story about space hamsters, obviously in space they can grow to like 8 feet tall and all this shit. But apparently, in the books, even the hamsters that are on our planet are psychic and can talk. They just don't. It's in the books.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like,
Did we have like a local brewery that had something about space hamster or space squirrels?
I don't remember
I would
that.
think it's
I've-
me.
Do you
Yeah, I
remember?
think it's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I literally never seen.
Wasn't did the can have like hamsters with space bubble?
Yeah.
suit? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
literally
Dave.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me.
I think it's this guy.
Right.
It me.
I didn't see
Dave's
the can art.
texting his lawyer,
Okay,
like,
okay.
all right, I'm
Yeah.
going to need
Yeah.
a
Double
cease and
check.
desist.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, Tim Shore.
Did he have something like that?
Tim?
He was pretty creative, but I don't think he had something like this.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Something about crazy squirrels.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
did have
Well, what-
weird.
Something.
Yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
like crazy squirrels in space, wasn't it? Because
No,
one
no,
of his
no.
master brewers.
Well, he had like 10,000 Michael Jacksons dancing in your mouth or something.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
Romans had that too.
Yeah. Tim is such a fun.
I mean, who among us?
character.
hasn't?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, he's very creative as well.
Oh yeah, he's a
what
wild
brewer?
card.
It was Barry. Acorn.
Barry Acorn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's such a fun guy. Hanging out and talking to him and having a couple beers with him is an experience I think everybody should have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like like Michael Jordan says you should always play at Madison Square Garden. You should always drink with Tim Shore.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's such a great New York State and especially Central New York beer scene, right? I learned that pre-Prohibition, New York grew the bulk of the hops for the American beer industry,
yeah.
right?
That's true.
And then post-Prohibition came back faster on the West Coast, which is why you get West Coast IPAs, very hoppy.
Yeah, but there was also an aphid
Oh,
locally that ate a lot of
goddamn
hops.
aphids.
Wiped it out.
Right. Yeah, there's
God damn it.
Fusarium head blight was an issue. So
They wiped it out. But it came back. I mean, after a little while, they started growing here again.
Yeah.
so
But this particular podcast, I think people can drink every time you mention one of these character names.
yes,
Brilliant.
do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like people drink like during Victoria's Secret, every time they say Victoria's Secret during the
I don't
Every
know.
time Roxanne, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Game
could-
night is going to be tough for the D&D nerds, right? It's going to be tough. You're in for a long haul. You plan on sleeping over. That's
Yeah.
right.
You were talking about yeast and how it has changed over the years, and we like manipulated. You've heard of Haberly Brewing?
Yes.
So we talked to one of the owners and
Patrick. Yeah.
Patrick, and he said they were trying to bring back their original yeast
From
and
Congress.
from Congress.
Okay,
And
sure.
they found, was it on eBay?
They found a bottle,
They
I believe,
found
on
a bottle
eBay
on
from
eBay
like
that
the
never been opened.
from like the 20s or 30s.
That's
Really?
wild.
Yeah.
How the
Multiple
hell did they find
multiple
that?
laboratories try to take that,
Isolate, like figure out what that is.
extract
Yeah.
that yeast out. Kept failing. They kind of gave up an idea, and then there was a lab that reached out to them, like, "Hey, we'd like to try it," and they were able to do it.
No
So now
kidding.
Really?
they're using that yeast and brewing. Which one is it? The the golden
It
can
was the
or the
yeah,
buck?
the Premier Lager.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
gold
So they're
one.
Sure.
using that yeast to brew their current beer.
Yeah, that's the beauty of yeast is that from one mother cell, you can get
Yeah.
12 baby cells, right? And the baby cells don't have a birth scar. The mother cell does.
Mm-hmm.
So all those baby cells that come off of it are fresh yeast. That's why you can continually cultivate
Mm-hmm.
yeast. So
Isn't that a complicated part of brewing? Like, don't you have to kind of think ahead to,
Yeah.
I need to harvest, right? Like, oh, I'm getting, right, let me grab some of that because I need it for
100%.
2 months from now. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like when I made the batch of Sunburst, I was like, okay, I can pull that. I use a Quebec yeast on that actually too. And I was like, well, I'm going to make a sour. So I'll jump the yeast from the Voss or from the Sunburst, into the sour. And then once the sour's done, I can jump it into the next batch of sour. And then, there was enough that settled from that first batch of Sunburst that I just hooked up to that tank again and made a 30-barrel batch, from that yeast from that tank. So it was, one of those things like I made like 90 barrels of beer from a 7-barrel pitch.
Mm.
So,
Nice.
you know,
We thought that idea was so cool of pulling that yeast out.
Mhm.
Frank came up with the name of reverse engineering.
we actually we have a
Yeah.
merchandise
So
store.
if you go
This
on
guy-
to
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
if you go onto BrewsNBanterstore.com, brews letter N banterstore.com, you can buy hoodies, t-shirts with reverse engineering on it, and it's
we just do stupid shit.
we
I
appre-
love that.
we
Yeah.
would appreciate the
Like-
support.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like we buy these guys, right? Same thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was when you mentioned yeast
Yeah.
and manipulation, it made me think of that story.
Generally you go light to dark, right? So I'll do like the lager, tabletop lager, and I'll pitch a yeast into there, and then I'll do an amber lager after that, and I'll jump the yeast from the lager into the amber, and then I'll do like a darker, like a Bach beer or a Schwartz beer or something, and then I jump the yeast from that to that.
Ever gonna get into like a lambic or something?
Oh no. No.
Wow.
Did we just
Wow.
reach a limit there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I did that at Resurgence, and it actually came out great. I was very happy with it, but in the space that I have, no.
Yeah.
And if I got a big warehouse, yes.
Is that because of an aging? Like, what makes that
Yeah.
complicated?
So it was when one of the first rounds of beer that I made at Resurgence, I told Jeff, I'm like, I'm gonna make like a red ale, but I'm gonna knock out, 7 barrels of it into a tote, like a big ass plastic tote,
Literally, like in my basement, a tote.
like a big ass.
Come
tote,
on, seriously.
right? Yeah. So normally that tote had like cider in it. That's how
Mhm.
a lot of cideries make their cider. They bring in these 7-barrel totes that are kind of wrapped in metal, and it's
But
like
they're
a plastic
plastic?
tote
Oh.
wrapped in metal, like a metal cage.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah, farmers use
yes,
it.
Like
Farmers
those,
use it.
Oh,
those
yeah.
CBT totes or something like that?
Yeah,
What are they
so that's
called?
how
Yeah.
a lot of apple cider gets to
Okay.
a cidery, that is going to use it to like ferment or whatever. So I got one of those pretty cheap, and
I feel like you're the greatest pirate brewer
Right.
I've
Oh,
ever
man.
heard of,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it just, right?
Yeah. Arr.
if
Yeah.
I got into it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Put mental note. I feel like you need a fantasy pirate beer now. So
Yeah.
we can play with that.
I made
Oh,
one.
I missed. Yeah, sorry. Of course you did.
I
I
Sorry,
made
right,
one
yeah.
called
Yeah.
the Sword Coast Swashbuckler.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
The
So
Jack Sparrow ale.
That's-
Okay.
yeah, man, I actually had a pirate on the label. So I knocked out 7 barrels of it over into the tote, and we inoculated it with like a lambic, yeast blend, and shoved it in the far back corner of that brewery, and we forgot
What is it,
about
like
it.
a year and a half, 2 years?
We forgot about it for 3
Yeah.
years.
Oh, wow.
With a big note, leave it alone.
Yeah,
Don't touch
yeah.
it.
Don't touch
Fuck
it.
off.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we left it for 3 years, and I finally pulled it out of there. Every now and again, I would get a little thief and pull a sample and try it, and I'm like, pretty good.
Getting there.
Yeah, it's about there. And we finally pulled it, and then we dropped it into wine barrels that were red wine barrels. So we
I
had
see.
like a Merlot
Yeah.
barrel, we had a Pinot Noir barrel. When I first met my wife, she tried the Pinot Noir barrel lambic that we made, the Belgian lambic, and she was like, still to this day, she'll be like, "That's the best beer you ever made. Why aren't you doing it again?" And I'm like,
It's 3 years.
"Oh my god, it's
Right.
not that easy, right?"
Right,
So
right.
we aged it for like 6 months in those barrels, and then we finally kegged it and then carbonated it and all that, and it was legit. Like I wish that we saved some and send it into the World Beer Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a lot.
So
right?
what are you
Like,
doing? Are you shipping these things to these guys?
Yeah, you mail it
Illegally?
legally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Books.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
video. It's video. Hold on. Yeah. Cut. Right. Yeah.
It's breast milk.
Nobody
Yeah,
watches
no,
this. Yeah.
Not that I would ever do this.
No, of course
But
not.
if you were to
Yeah.
illegally mail beer to
Sure.
someone
Allegedly.
and they ask you what's in there, you just say live yeast.
Yeah.
You go, it's
Yeah,
live
'cause it
yeast
is, yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
Which is true.
Because it's true.
true.
Yeah.
That's
true.
in there.
You
right?
mailed it by your vehicle. You know, just drove it.
Yeah.
Listen,
Right.
Yeah.
A beer showed up at the
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the
Nobody really knows,
at the
right.
contest.
It's
and,
like
Santa.
Santa.
It's there.
Yeah,
It's like Santa. You don't really see him, but something's
That's right.
happening.
Yeah, somebody has a
That's
big
right.
ass sack that they threw on a table.
Oh,
and
someone's got a big
beers
ass
came
sack.
out. And beer came out.
Dave, I'm curious. All of the crazy things you've made, and you have made some amazing crazy things. Is there one that is your like? I'm not ready to do it. Like I'm going to do it someday, but I'm not ready to do it.
That you
yet.
have not done yet.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Oh, you just there.
I just
You see the mountain and you climb it.
Yeah, dude. As soon as I
Damn.
think of something, I'm like, I can do that.
I've been
And
with
then
women. I've been with women like that. I couldn't even get
What
it
do you
out.
know?
I'm like,
My ex-wife.
maybe I shouldn't
wait,
say
no,
this.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, you know my ex-wife?
no, not the bubble. I don't know the bubble.
So which one
Just
was
kidding.
that
She
again?
was
I
A
might have
very nice
missed it.
person.
The
Which one?
what's the
Hamster.
name of that beer?
Hamster.
The hamster?
That you drink now?
Medium sized,
Yeah, the medium-
giant space
medium.
hamster.
No, what
So-
kind of beer?
It's a New England IPA.
New England IPA.
This worked out pretty good. The last two, right? Like
Yeah.
go to that one and then
Yeah.
end with that one. That's a good
Yeah.
a good circuit.
Now, how do you pick the art? Is it your brother picks it, or how do you?
He
How
just
do you,
does it.
yeah, because the guy's got a
But
fucking great imagination.
how do you pair the kind of beer with the kind of art? style?
Again,
He
Tim,
just does it.
right. Like I tell him, I told him the name of this beer was called A Date in Jotunheim, and I told him I want a date.
Oh my god, it's a date.
I
like
want a date.
Oh my god,
I
I
see.
just got that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I told him I want a date that's like that wants to fight the frost giants, right? And so he literally has a date that's like, yeah, fuck you guys. And all the giants are like, are you serious?
That's probably like the 18th label because you can't fucking spell Jotunheimer right.
Yeah, you're right. Don't forget the umlauts.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
right, yeah.
Wait,
This
where
is
is it? Over the
literally
E or the I?
Yeah.
It's
First sketch.
Yeah?
First sketch he
Nice.
sent me
Nice.
was
It's like-
basically this, and then he colors it in. But I was like, yeah, no notes. Like
That's
this is
perfect.
exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
It's like those Yorkies. Those Yorkies attack big dogs. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
really?
Yeah, like blink.
It's all attitude.
Yeah.
All attitude
yeah.
all the way down.
Yeah. So so you said
Well, we're
Todd, you said
gonna
this is
end
last.
with that one. Yeah,
is
you
last.
should open that one.
This
Oh,
one is
yeah,
next.
Let's fire that.
I mean, if I may be so
Oh,
bold.
please. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Well, you're an ambassador now. I mean, you don't. Dave doesn't know it yet, but he's getting an invoice, right?
Fair
listen,
enough. Yeah.
No, it's for love of the game.
Yeah.
Love of the
Love of the
game.
game.
Look at the color of that, right?
Right? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
gonna wait till you get yours because I'm so excited. Another sour. We're back to the sour.
Yeah, we're
space.
back to sours.
We
Again-
never had sour till we started this thing.
Yeah. So
Drink Dave's, otherwise they're shit.
I will tell you this: that I was working at Resurgence,
The
and
cranberry.
Jeff, the owner, was like, "We got to make sours," and I was like,
Because a couple of years ago, that was the trend, right? Because there was New England IPAs, and then it was sours.
Yeah, and it was kind of I think this is now the year 2016 at the time, so about 10 years ago. And he was like, "We got to make some sours, dude. There's, people are making sours. It's a whole thing." And he had been to Florida, and he had the stuff from Cigar City, right? And
Oh, yeah,
Cigar
yeah.
City
Good
was
stuff.
making like
Florida man,
Your uncle's
Yeah.
stuff,
great
right?
beer,
Yeah.
great beer.
but they were making like lime Berliner Weiss and stuff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was very, very good. So we went to a conference, and it was down in Jacksonville, Florida. And wouldn't you know it, a guy named Wayne Wambles.
That can't be real.
No,
that can't be real.
This is definitely an infomercial. Something's
right,
coming up
yeah.
here, right?
100% his real name, Wayne Wambles. He was the head brewer at Cigar City.
Does he drive a ambulance?
Yeah.
Sorry, Wayne.
And Wayne is a super nice guy. But he did a whole talk about doing a sour program. And at the time, he was ordering these yeast or bacterial cultures, right? And what they would do is knock out or send it in the kettle, chill it down to about 45 degrees Celsius, throw in their bacteria culture, let it sit for a couple days, and then they would pull that culture off the bottom of the tank into kegs. And he was going through this whole process. There was a huge pain in the ass because the yeast or the bacterial culture from a yeast company is like $900, right? For like a 10-barrel pitch. So if you want to keep that value, so you keep trying to pull it, and then he was having all these issues, and he'd have to reorder every second or third batch and all this. And so I'm sitting there in this, conference room, and I'm writing down these things. And the bacterial cultures are like Del Brucki and Plantarum and stuff like that. And I'm writing all these down. And I get home, and I told Jeff, I'm like, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, this is the initial cost is insane. We're gonna have to charge a ton for these beers. And then I go to fucking Wegmans. I'm not kidding. I go to Wegmans, and I'm like looking at yogurt, and I look at this fucking organic Greek yogurt, and on the back it says Del Brucki and Plantarum, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
So my sister is a lawyer at the FDA, and I called her, and I was like, can you pull me the regulations that tell you exactly how many cells per milliliter have to be in the yogurt to be called probiotic? Can you send me that information? She sends me
That is a very niche question, right? Like most people are not asking a question like that.
I'm like, Roman, can you give me a pen or something?
Yeah, that's right.
She thought it was weird, but she's like, sure, whatever, Dave. So she sends me this.
I feel like that's not the first weird question you've asked her.
Probably not.
Right,
No,
okay.
I'm a
The other one, find me a lawyer in Vegas, right?
That's right.
So she sends me this 5-page regulation. I go through it, and I realize that the cell count that has to be in a probiotic, culture, I need a 32-ounce jug per 3 barrels. So I had a 15-barrel system, so I needed 5. And I told Jeff, I'm like, I can do this for $25.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was like, are you fucking serious? He's like, well, give it a shot. So I, do a whole batch, send it in the kettle, do like a 10-minute boil, chill it down to 45 degrees Celsius, and then I throw in the yogurt and let it sit for 2 days. And then I check my, pH. And I'm like, I'm at 3.2. This is fucking great. And it's like, it works like a charm, right? And then you just boil it and kill it. The bacteria is gone.
Please tell me, the business professional in me is like, please tell me you patented that process. Please.
No, I'm
but now it's here first.
No, it's patented now.
Yeah, it's totally patented.
It's patented.
Forget it. Fuck you guys. That's right.
This thing's going to air in like 3 weeks. We already had the patent in place.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big dum-dum that gets proud of himself and excited about stuff. So I ended up, one of my guys that was an intern for me at Resurgence was this guy named Jason, and then he left, and he now is the head brewer over at New York Beer Project. And then these guys, at a different brewery wanted to do a collab with me, and I'm like, yeah, let's. This is how I do it. And
Here's
so
my recipe book.
Yeah, and so I do that, and then like the next, so I literally taught like Buffalo how to make sours, and I think the word kind of spread after that.
Have you ever heard the story of Paul McCartney talking about his one big regret? A young Michael Jackson collaborating with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And Paul says to Michael, you need to get into music publishing. That's where the money is. And as Paul is approaching Yoko to carefully talk about how he could buy up the Lennon-McCartney catalog, Michael Jackson comes in and
bought it.
And he was like,
oh my God.
Go!
Yeah.
Oh, that conversation. Oh, I wish I hadn't said that.
Like Scooter Braun and Taylor Swift.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. That conversation was like an $800 million.
That was a big hit. That's a big
I just
hit.
referenced Taylor Swift on our podcast.
Wow.
That's okay.
Is that a first?
That's okay.
I'm pretty upset about it.
she's pretty hot with straight hair, like curly hair Taylor Swift, but straight hair.
I am proud of you.
Wow.
Thanks.
This is
really
big.
sweet. I feel like we saw a moment.
It's the one I like, the graham cracker one.
What is this episode?
No, the Jotunheimer.
Jotunheim,
I like that one.
What
Hi.
episode is this? 200 something?
No.
190
188 was today. Yesterday.
Well, no,
Yay.
this will probably be like 190 something. So on that episode, I am proud of you.
Proud Popper.
I'll tell you this.
This got cranberry.
Can you tell us
sure,
what's in here?
No, it's all blueberry.
Yeah, same thing.
It's cheesecake, blueberry, and matcha powder. So
Hypnotic
it's
pattern.
Yeah.
Another spell. Another D&D spell.
yes.
Maybe
Another
the
decent
cheesecake
spell.
kind of throws me off for like a.
Yeah, it's a cheesecake, matcha, blueberry.
But again, like
I put a dash of basil in there, not a ton, just a little bit.
I don't drink. I can drink a sour. Somewhere else I can drink a sour, but Dave can line up sours. Acid Splash.
Yeah.
Is another. It's a gin.
Oh my God! Yeah, the Acid Splash.
It's like a gin martini.
Was
right?
a collab with our buddies at Lock
One?
Yeah, Lock One over in Phoenix.
But you set these up. They're so ridiculously good.
It was so fun. I used the Saison
They're
yeast,
great guys too. Yeah.
so it'd be really, really dry because gin is usually really dry. And then the master distiller at Lock One gave me basically his recipe for
Brendan?
for his the Lock Tender gin. And he was like, this is the spices I use. These are like kind of the amounts and stuff like that. And I bought all those spices. And he actually was super nice and gifted me some at the time. And so I aged the beer after fermentation on those spices. And oh man, it was like a glass of and I added a little bit of lemon. So I was trying to make a cocktail called the Fitzgerald.
That's right.
If you've ever heard of that. So it's like a Prohibition era cocktail. And so it was a cocktail sour, all the spices of that Lock Tender gin, a little bit of lemon, and a little bit of sweetness from, I had a little bit of Belgian candy syrup again, because you had
You got like fucking cases of that.
That's
Like, just hanging out.
yeah,
I put on my pancakes.
Right.
like,
The cost has been spread out over
30 years,
4,000 barrels.
yeah.
Right.
She got it from Wegmans.
Yeah. Well, so the cocktail you put simple syrup. So I'm like, I'll just add
Oh, right. Like an old fashioned, right?
Yeah. So anyways, that beer literally tasted like a Fitzgerald cocktail. And it was just super good. I got to do it again.
It's such an interesting route, though, and it makes sense now. I hadn't heard that earlier story about like the Ritz, but the bartending. This makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like the studying the cocktails and the liquors, informing your beer choices.
Right.
It's such a great like route into it.
I hadn't thought about it for a while, and then I was doing all these different cocktail sours, and they're like, "What are you, like a bartender?" I'm like, "Well, I was for a very long time." I'm like, "Yeah, I think that might be what happened." But yeah, good point. Good note.
That came back.
Yeah.
Before you guys leave here, we'll have some Lock One whiskey back there.
Well, if we must.
If
we must.
You must.
Yeah, sure.
You must.
Yeah.
But before that,
We just have a little bit. You won't have any,
Just a nip.
Yeah.
and we won't ship it to Colorado either.
Right.
and then, so Todd, you like really insisted that this would be the last one. Why?
Well, Dave, I feel guilty talking about your beers in front of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
No,
care.
we want to hear
Well,
your perspective.
And he's going to correct you on it if you're wrong anyway.
And I will be eager for the information.
Good fun.
So this is, I feel like, the exact opposite of your story about you go to a new brewery, you try their lightest beer. And if they've got those flavors, then everything's going to be good. I feel like at the other end, this is a beer that can disguise maybe bad brewing because it's so intense in flavor, but an imperial stout,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I usually call a stay-at-home beer. Luckily, we're going to split it 4 ways.
Yeah.
But I think that now, but yeah.
But this is that kind of beer, like, if everything's good below it, this should be amazing. I have actually not had this one yet.
Really?
So, selfishly, I wanted to end on this one. But we had some lighter tastes, some different flavors, but the imperial stout is like, that should be the last beer you have of the night. Right?
I don't know if anybody cares about this, but it's kind of a funny story. Long ass time ago, when I was running this Gordon Biersch, I basically tried to make like Belgian triple. So I put 26 bags of grain into the mash.
So you made oatmeal.
Well, it's normally a normal batch is like 15 bags, right? Your max is generally like 20. So I did 26 bags, and my lauter ton, again, nobody cares about this, but it's a little tight. So basically the hydrostatic pressure of the grain and the liquid on top of it compressed and made it essentially like a block of concrete.
Yeah.
So I couldn't pull the liquid out from the grain at a certain point. I got like 10 barrels of
At that point, it looks like a crust on like a septic tank, right?
Dude, it was yeah. I ended up having to just open the front manway door of the lauter ton and letting it all spill all across the ground. And the whole room filled up with steam, and it was like
was the tap room open at the time?
Yeah. Dude. Luckily it filled up with steam. The windows fogged up.
They're like, what's going on there?
You should have came out with a towel. Be like, oh, that's great. Yeah, like a sauna. Like,
that's right.
Dude,
No, you should have put your hand on the glass and like dragged it.
In the brewery, no one can hear you scream. That's right.
That would have been smart. No, but one of my servers came in. He's like, "Hey, would you have time to do a?" Oh my god! And, he was like, "Shit, man, what happened?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it," because he was like asking if I could do a brewery tour. I'm like, "No, get out of here." So the grain literally spilled all the way across the ground. It was if I could find pictures for you, I would, but I'll find them sometime and text them to you.
Yeah.
The grain went all the way to the walk-in cooler. It was.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh
yeah.
It was an absolute mess. So what I did with this,
which I just realized, did we give it the name? Yawning Portal.
Yeah,
sorry.
This is called the Yawning Portal.
Sorry, we described it and didn't say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I did with this is what's called an articulated mash, because I wised up. So what I did was I added about 15 bags of just straight up base malt. None of the specialty grain or anything into the first mash. Transferred that up to the lauter ton and ran that back into the kettle. So I got about 15 barrels of like fresh wort from that grain. Then I grained out, took all that out of there, and then I milled in again.
The same stuff?
Another round, but with the specialty grain and with more base malt, and I milled that into the wort that I already had.
Yeah.
And then I transferred that up into the lauter ton.
So this is about $15 a can.
Yeah.
Is he right?
It should be
An ounce.
Yeah.
And then I ran that whole liquid back into the kettle, and I added some marshmallows, and we were drinking and having a good time. I was hanging out with Sean from Awkward Handshakes, and we went up to the
Sean Eastwood.
Yeah, he's at Eastwood right now. He's trying to open a brewery called Awkward Handshakes. Because he's a really interesting and fun guy.
Yeah.
And he's doing all the brewing at Eastwood right now, and their beers are great.
Yep.
He's a very good brewer, very detail oriented. But we were we walked across the mall and went to the food court, and there's that like mochi donut place.
Yes.
So we're like, give us 20 donuts or
Come
whatever.
on.
So we got all these donuts. We brought them down and just threw them in the boil and all
Oh,
that
man.
stuff. There's a little bit of that in there. But it was
I
fun.
fucking love mochi donuts.
Yeah.
What a great story
Yeah.
to roll out on, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Boy, look at that.
Oh, sometimes an imperial stout for me can be a little too boozy.
Yeah.
And it's overpowering and I don't enjoy drinking it.
Yeah.
That is delicious.
So it's about yeast health.
Hmm.
The yeast during fermentation can produce what's called fusel alcohols. So if they don't have enough like free amino nitrogen, if they don't have enough, of all the little things that they need, they will produce what's called fusel alcohols, and they won't clean it up. So really, during fermentation, you're hoping that they clean their own shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you treat them well and keep them healthy, they produce a smooth beer at 9%.
That's ridiculous.
You don't get any of the fusel.
Just as smooth.
9%.
Yeah, it doesn't
no.
hit. Yeah.
I've reached a point, I feel like we both got a little bit of
same thing, yeah.
snow on the roof,
Yeah,
snow
yeah.
on the foundation. I feel like I've reached a point where I'm very tentative around an imperial stout because I've had so many that are like, I don't enjoy drinking it. And it's just, I feel like it's almost for status.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
ridiculous.
earlier you said, I'll drink like, a sour. Mine would be, I drink. That's it. Like,
yeah.
it's just like, I'll just drink it. I don't give a
No
fuck.
other notes.
Right. That's a sentence.
But
yeah.
this is again like one of these winter beers to me. Like you've got to see cyclical, like probably a lot of
seasonal.
a lot of stouts in the summer probably.
Right.
IPAs
I still have
we
this
talk
on
about
right now, but
I'm as far as it goes for people that's heavy or even like I don't know, people, do they drink coffee when they mow the lawn? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, but like when it's hot out,
not normal people.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
before in the morning?
Yeah.
but like my mom when I was younger, she'd be like, oh, it's she just, because we had 3 boys, we just always just fucking eat, right?
Yeah.
So all she'd do, she'd make like some stupid soup that was like really cheap, but it's like 90 out. Like, oh, soup for dinner. I'm like, who the fuck wants soup when it's 90 out, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with like stouts and like I don't want it like that when I'm hot out.
100%.
But for the past, go ahead.
No, you please.
For the past 2 years, what I've been doing is smoking cigars with stouts. And
Any vanilla in this?
Just a little from the
Sorry.
mochi donut that we put in there.
I meant that to be a side conversation. I forgot.
no,
You were
don't-
on mic.
You
right?
don't have side conversations during podcasts.
Well, we can.
What the fuck?
We kind of do all this shit, right?
Last 2 years, I've been
Works.
doing stouts with cigars.
Yeah.
I enjoy cigar here and there once in a while or on the golf course. And like tasting this, I'm already picturing which cigar I would pair this with. And I'm actually going to pick some of this up, Dave, and then I'm going to bring it home so that I can have this with a cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, please
this
do.
would be cool.
I feel like it, we suffer through our Syracuse winters, right? But if you're going to live up here
For fucking 9 months now, right?
well, listen, we get 3 beautiful weeks of summer every year.
3 beautiful days
That's
of
right.
summer.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like we have all 4 seasons, and I feel like you need to pair the beer to the season, right? So
yeah.
I'm picturing, it's that first crisp frost of fall, and and I'm sitting outside, but I've got some layers on,
Yeah.
and I want something that warms me. So it's this and the Yuliol,
Yeah.
Same.
right? Like, you can, and then the chuggy is the done mowing the lawn in the summertime, right?
Yes, exactly.
Which, am I correct in remembering, like, beer styles evolved because of like where we were in agricultural cycles, and what you had at that time would determine what you brewed, and then what age, and then what was ready to drink.
And that's got to be very unique up in sort of the Northeast, because I don't know what's happening out west. Like,
Right.
if you're 75 every day in San Diego, are you drinking stout still? Like, how much is their stout business? Because it's so fucking nice, right? But over here, you get all these different beers you can have because there's these different seasons to go with it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were talking about yeast cultures and stuff like that, but when you look at like Belgium was a hub of 5 rivers that supplied all of Europe with spices, and then you look at their beers, and all the beers have different spices, right? Like it was always something like that. So, it was very very much about like the agriculture or what was going on at the time, and but that's what's to me again super interesting about the beer industry in and of itself is that it it connects us to our entire history. The fact, where we came from, how we got here, and honestly, it's what we did, what we drank when we decided we wanted to be a
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
right? It was what people drank to avoid the plague and the Black Plague that killed a third of
That's
Europe,
why they
right?
put tea in the fucking river, right?
Right, and so it's just like again one of those things that when I think about what I do and why I do it, I always consider just the history of it and where it came from, but also like how important it always was and always hopefully will be
Mhm.
to the human experience. It's not just about it's not about getting drunk or whatever. It really isn't to me. It's more about sitting around connecting
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and telling your story. And
Yeah, this is family dinner, right?
yeah, exactly, man.
Or
Yeah.
guest or party
It
you
is
have.
connection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I said earlier, alcohol and beer has woven itself into the fabric of human nature and culture
Oh,
and society.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it weaves us also together, right? Like the four of us. Why would we even be here?
Right.
To talk and tell our stories if we didn't have something like this to kind of
Yep.
share and cheers and
Yeah.
hang out about.
And
So
like back in the days, a lot of trades happened from between different countries. They
Mhm.
had to meet up, and when they would meet, it would be at the table over a feast.
Right.
yes.
And the feast, the food, is what always bring the
I love it.
the
Thank you.
the feast and the food is what always brought people together, no
Right.
matter what country you were
Yes.
from, what your views, beliefs, and things like that. But it brought people together to have a meal together, to talk, discuss decision making, and things like that. But nothing completed food without a beverage,
That's
Right.
right.
right? So it's like the mixture of alcohol, the meal, and the right people together is what like really combines the right formula.
Yeah.
That's society.
Yeah.
And
I
in,
mean,
in a place where in Germany a beer is this, in Belgium a beer is this,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? In America, a beer is all these things
It's all
because we
this.
bring our stories together.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that is this what unites us.
Couple
Yeah.
years ago, I was in Belgium, and they have a museum of beer.
Oh,
And
cool.
I was with my family. I was like, "No fucking way!" I go, "I will find you guys.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
You do your thing.
Yeah.
I will find you. I don't give a
Hell
fuck."
yeah.
So I went into museum of beer, and it's this like really small. So it's part of this like um old part of Belgium where all these buildings and architectures, these old structures, churches, and all this stuff, right? And there's a big square there. They had a Christmas tree and everything. So I went into the museum. You walk in, you goes down the basement, and they had agriculture part of it there.
Yeah.
And so further you go down, there's like a basement, a bar in the basement, and they served like two types of beer, and you just have one or the other.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
So I was like, "Yeah, give me the stout."
Yeah.
So and just chatted with the bartender for a little bit. I said, "I'm from here and from the States. We have the beer podcast, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Oh, that's fun. It's exciting. It's nice to hear from people from other parts of the world to come and visit this." And it's a really small museum, but the people were so nice.
Yeah. For
That's
sure.
what I wanted to highlight too. Is
Yeah.
like just being in a different country, admiring the beer and the culture in the museum and having a discussion.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was fun.
And finding that connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It connects us, right?
Yeah.
As
Oh,
a
man.
people.
I went to Germany and went to Bamberg, and I was scheduled to go to Weyermann Malt House, right? And Weyermann
Where is
Malt
that?
Weyermann is in Bamberg, Germany. It's 17-19 Brennerstrasse Street.
You know the fucking address?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. So I'm there with a bunch of friends. We're driving up to Bamberg, and we don't have like any GPS or anything, so we just get to town, and I go into a gas station. I'm like, 1719 Brennerstrasse, and the guy was like, "Oh yes," and he gave me directions. We made it to the malt house, and we get there, and this malt house has existed for a couple hundred years, and each building is from a different epoch of like German culture and stuff like that. And it was just it was the same thing, right? Going in there and talking to these guys about what they do
Mm.
and telling them what I do and my reverence and respect for the industry. And I could sit down with a German that barely knew English, and I barely know any German, and I could have a beer with him
Yeah.
and just like have a good time. We hung out for hours,
It's a time capsule,
and I
right? Yeah.
barely know.
Yeah,
I barely know what the fuck
Yeah.
anybody said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But we were like hanging out and
You
talking.
understood each other somehow.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And but I knew the address because when I was working at Gordon Biersch, every bag of Wireman malt says the address.
Oh,
So
okay.
every time
You
I
looked at
throw
1,000 bags.
every time I throw a bag down, it's right there. And it just happened to stick in my weird, again, pickled little brain.
Yeah.
And so I get to Germany and I'm like we were like, where the fuck? I don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I know the address.
Let me check.
I know where we're going.
Let me check my tattoo. 17.
Yeah. So, we go in there into this malt house, and our tour guide's this guy named Wolfgang Schmidt,
Hmm.
the most fucking
You're
German,
right. A nice Irish lad.
most
Yeah.
German, most German name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Wolfgang Schmidt,
Yeah.
and he's
But of
doing-
course you are.
Yes. So he's doing this tour, and we're going like. At one point, I kind of like stopped and I was talking to my friends and I'm like, see, these are what are called Saladin boxes. And the grain is in there and it's steeping at about 135 degrees. The water is going into the acrospire and releasing the embryo. And it's also releasing gibberellin, which is gibberellic acid, which is like a hormone that goes through the aileron layer and releases.
What is it
I
called?
feel pregnant right now.
Yeah.
What is that called?
He's already inside.
Gibberellin?
I don't know if you know that.
No, I can't feel
Gibberella?
it.
Gibberellin.
Gibberellin.
Yeah.
Not
Imperial
jabroni.
stuff.
The
Yeah,
straight of Gibberellin.
Yeah.
Not
So-
jabroni.
But
That's right.
that's like, and it's releasing the protein enzyme that's going to break down the protein matrix between the starch package and all that shit. But all this is happening in these Saladin boxes, and I'm like, these are Geracleurs, these big like Archimedeal corkscrews that
It's a lot of
basically
SAT words.
mix
Fuck it.
the grain up and down at very specific temperatures, but allow the oxygen to mix through and all that stuff. And Wolfgang was like, why don't you just do the tour? I was like, okay, I got you, bro. I ended up
Is he
doing.
drinking? That'd be great if he took.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we were right, and like they give you beer the whole
yeah,
time
yeah,
because
yeah.
they have
So
they have a little brewery on campus at
Sure.
Wireman.
Why wouldn't
As
they?
soon as
Yeah,
they-
they're very
Soon as Dave
accommodating.
said,
And very
Archimedes forces of Boeing, Archimedes principles of Boeing forces. He was like, okay, do the tour.
yeah.
That's right.
Archimedeal corkscrew.
Yeah.
But yes, but yes, it was
That's great.
so much fun. But again, like I didn't know this guy, I don't know his language, and he was just like, he let me do the tour,
That's pretty cool.
and we were just having so much fun, and then at the end we get to go down into their brewery, and they gave us samples of all the stuff they were making with all the different types of grain they were producing. And it's just, again, one of those things like this industry itself, especially when you're a brewer or a maltster or whatever, you just inherently are
Mhm.
friends.
And
with the
regardless of your
person next door.
background and
Yeah.
what
Doesn't-
affiliations you have, all these
Yep.
things, everybody just wants to.
If I walk into a brewery right now, anywhere in the States or in Germany or in Europe or whatever, and tell them I'm a brewer, I'm going to be treated
Yep.
different.
That's right.
They're going to bring me back. They're going to be like, oh, we made this and it's new and it's
Right.
in the tank like I do with you, right?
Yeah.
Like here's a sample. They put a pigtail on a tank and they're like, get it,
And you've said to your family, I'll be back in a few minutes,
Yeah.
right? I have to go
and then
check
never
this
come
out.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's blind tomorrow, don't.
That's right.
But that's the fun part, right? Like it's just it's an entertaining thing. That's what it is. But it also it does draw and tie us together, on a like subconscious level,
Mhm.
and that's what I think is great. Like, you guys have this brews and banter, right? Like, you come here and sit and talk with people about beer, or you don't even talk about beer. You talk about each other, or whatever you talk
Sometimes
about.
beer
Yep,
is
yep.
the staple, is like the
But
icebreaker.
But that's what you're talking about, right?
beer is the tie.
The binding-
Connective
That's
tissue.
right, yeah.
And same with yours. You know, you have the beer, and then your superhero stories, right?
Right.
And it ties you guys together, and it ties the stories together. And it's just like, to me, um it's just like it's an important part of who we are.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's what makes it really, really fun to just be here and be able to make these things and be creative and be weird, and then have people
Mhm.
respect it,
Yeah.
and people respond to it, right? So,
Yeah.
But
uh,
it is different also, I think, between the craft beer industry and the production beer industry.
oh, for sure.
I mean, if you're gonna, drink all these sort of people, they don't give a shit about us. They don't need us, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's a different sort of connection.
Yeah.
These other people, maybe you go to a dive bar, maybe you get these 4 or 5 production beers. These people, I don't want to talk to you, or I will talk to you. But it's they're there for some other reason. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's just to get hammered on the 4.5% beer. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, we don't do that for this. I mean, I'll get hammered with the best stuff for sure.
The,
Sure.
But like, you get to have these conversations, right?
Yeah.
the idea of this podcast started from being, love for beer, but we wanted to support small businesses,
Yeah.
and craft brewers are small businesses.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
said, okay,
It's time when the industry
The
is
smallest.
shrinking.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I said, how can we enjoy what we love
Mhm.
and give back at the same time? So we said, we're going to support small businesses, enjoy craft beer,
Love it.
support women-owned businesses,
Yeah.
minority-owned
Yep.
businesses, veteran-owned businesses,
Yeah.
and just be, and that's what's going to tie the community, and just be part of that.
Right.
So that's where the idea came from. Whether we always talk about beer, no, but do we always have beer? Almost always the
We've
time,
had
yes.
we've had coffee, we've had water,
Sure.
We've had
Sure,
coffee,
sure.
we've
yeah,
cried. I mean,
Yeah.
spirits,
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
and but that's the idea. And I want to just kind of highlight towards the end of this podcast.
Unless you guys want
How-
like another fucking 20-pack, we could do this.
I think I actually have
think-
to go close the
Yeah.
brewery.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
That's
What
right.
I wanted to say is, Dave, this isn't our first discussion.
Yeah.
And how different this is from our first.
Yeah, for sure.
And we had our first interview, if you want to call it, about the beer and all the stuff, but how much more history and stories you have that was highlighted here, it's a complete different one.
It's definitely.
You know
way
what I
different. I remember our first podcast. It
Yeah.
was super fun. We were in the brewery. We
In
got
the
to talk
brewery,
about
yeah, but how like different this is,
Yeah.
and the different things we've heard about this, different stories and
Yeah.
and connections. Todd came into the mix of it and mixed it up a little bit too. That was fun.
Yeah, nobody met him until like 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
Nobody-
yeah,
no-
yeah.
this is
I
great.
wandered in.
Right, yeah.
You
Yeah.
left the door open. I just wandered in.
You came out of that.
That's
bathroom,
right. That's
And
right.
that-
I was there all day.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Just
here's
waiting.
our moment.
These
Here's
guys
our
got to
moment.
show up at
That's
some
right.
point.
That's right.
And this answers
You
what
should get that looked at.
this
No
answers
shot. It'll go.
this answers what you said earlier, is
Yeah,
how
exactly.
it brings people together.
That's
know?
and that's the beauty of it. And one quick story: when I opened Resurgence, we spent so long building that and making our first round of beers and all that. And my assistant brewer was a guy that I just pulled from the same brewmaster program that I went to. He had just graduated.
Not in the original case.
No, he wasn't
Okay.
in the first case.
Okay.
No, he was like 4 years behind me.
Got it.
But he was right out of the school, and I brought him in and I taught him everything I know and all that. And at one point, it was right before opening, and he was like he was like, "Oh my fucking God, this was so much work." Right? Like he was just kind of getting down on it. And I'm like, it was literally that day. We opened at 3:00. The entire place filled up. It was shoulder to shoulder. And I pulled out a lawn chair. I flipped 2 lawn chairs out in the brewery. I'm like, have a seat. And I poured him a beer. And I showed him, I looked around. I was like, look at
Yeah,
all
yeah.
this.
Yep.
Right? we got hundreds of people in here laughing, goofing around, talking to each other.
Connected.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder in here. And I'm like, this is why we do it. The fact that all these people are having a good time, that all these people are connecting, all these people, half of them or most of them don't know each other, and they're going to, right? And it's because we did what we did. He sat there, we both had a beer together, and like, it was just one of those surreal kind of moments where you're like, you feel again that connection to humanity, and and you feel the purpose of what we do, and it made it like, you know, made it real.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
and that's exactly it. It's all the connection. I mean,
He'll
Yeah.
remember that conversation.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's that piece, right? Like, if we want to today, we can find a million ways to divide ourselves and to put ourselves at cross purposes, right? And yet, here we have this opportunity to sit down and share some beverages
Yeah.
and connect. And I would say there's never been a time in my lifetime where connecting with people was more important.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm so grateful. So thank you for allowing me to
No,
be here.
thank you,
Dave,
Todd.
thank
See,
you for
we
allowing me to draft.
Yeah,
and,
for sure,
just
man, it's
sneak
fun.
in behind you.
But and that's the thing. We just met, right? And
Just
and,
met.
and here we are, 2 hours into this thing, and we could still
Oh my
keep
God,
going,
having a
know?
blast.
Oh
Yeah.
man, for sure.
I
If I
love
didn't
it.
have to go close my restaurant right now.
That's right.
Any
Yeah.
last words you want to add, Dave, Todd? anything you
Any
want
sale,
you guys-
any events coming up? Anything you got going
Oh,
on?
I actually my 4-year anniversary party is this weekend, and we're gonna have
Okay.
magicians walking around doing free magic.
Okay.
It's literally free. It's the night of the Magi. So we're gonna do like cheap beers, like $5 mage hands and stuff like that.
Nice.
So
and
so
then-
that's this weekend coming up. So we probably won't be out by then.
oh yeah,
So but
and then we're gonna be doing beer specials for all the USA games for the FIFA.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
that'll be cool. We're
Yep.
going to be doing pictures of basically tabletop, chuggy, hefe.
Can't go wrong.
yeah,
Sunburst.
that chuggy's free. That's a unique beer.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird one, right?
Yeah,
I like-
yeah.
And so all that. So we're going to be doing specials for all the soccer games at the tap room in Camillus. And then I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what else after that, man. Lots of stuff, I guess.
Good
Well,
stuff.
we
though.
can go ahead and end with thanking everybody.
Well, and you want to talk about your podcast real quick again?
I check us out again. Guys with Beers, talking about movies with capes, the Super Pod Hero Cast. You'll find us wherever you eat your pods.
Hell yeah, man.
Come get geeky with us. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
I gotta get on this podcast.
You're coming. We're going into our last season.
Yeah.
Dave will be
Last
on it.
season
Hell
ever?
yeah.
So we've done 9 so far. We just released the end of our 9th season.
Okay.
So in the fall, September, we'll start season 10. And we've decided 10 is a good number, so we're going to finish with 10.
Excellent. We'll check it out.
Yeah, please do.
for that
Yeah.
one. But then you're gonna start something else because you know.
Well, I'll probably do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got the gift of
hope is a
gab.
fun D&D.
Well, pay attention for maybe
If
D&D
you're-
is a lot of fun.
something
If
to
you're a
come. Right,
fan of
right.
D&D,
Yeah.
something's coming up, and we'll announce that later.
That's right.
But at this point, I just want to say thank you to all of our listeners, all of our followers. Thank you for everybody who supports this podcast by going to BrewsNBanterstore.com. When you buy the merch, this is where it goes. It goes right back to the podcast. We don't. I don't think we've been in the negative for so long.
Like it's where we belong.
We don't make,
right.
we don't make
gotten
money on the
comfortable. Yeah.
podcast. Everything goes right back.
Our
Nothing-
business is losing money.
I don't think nothing has anything
Crushing.
has gone
Crushing.
into our pockets
Yeah.
at all. Like
Yeah.
everything gets invested right back into the
You might as well
podcast
be running a brewery.
because because
At
our
least the tap room, right? Yeah.
our followers enjoy it, and this is why they buy the merch, and we want to reward them back to what they want, and we respect that. We want to say thank you to our sponsors, Apex Property Management and FM Realty Group. We want to thank you. We want to say thank you to Dave and his brewery. Bullfinch is going to be sponsoring this podcast for the entirety of us drinking that
Sunburst
The
Sunburst,
Sunburst, buddy.
yeah.
until we run out.
On
Every
gold medal.
episode
on
is-
the foam throne. That's what we're calling it. The
Yeah.
foam throne.
Nice,
That's the
nice.
kegerator.
So
Yes.
we got to change the name on the handle, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dave, for sponsoring
Hey, my pleasure.
as well. And
Thanks
I want
for
to thank.
listening to all my bullshit.
Oh, we love
there's,
it.
I know
There's
it's
no
a long
bullshit.
story,
No,
but-
We
no,
love it.
no.
If you have more, come back. But thank you, Todd, for coming.
Thank you.
This was a neat surprise. Thank you, Dave, for inviting Todd and
Yeah,
being
for
here.
sure. Yeah.
Thank you to Presidium Logistics
and Hopped Up Network.
and
too, I
Hopped Up
forgot.
Network.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hopped Up.
Sponsors are growing if you're interested. Thank you again, guys. It was a
Zach, like,
pleasure.
I'm looking
my
at
God.
you, man.
That's right.
It was fun, pleasure, and happy to make new friends.
Absolutely.
100%.
Thank you
Okay.
very much,
Yeah,
guys.
my pleasure.